My name is Richard Syrett. Who was Osama Bin Laden? Was he the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks and the leader of a fundamentalist Muslim terrorist organization known as Al-Qaeda? Or was he a creation of Western intelligence groups like the CIA and MI6, a convenient bogeyman used to justify a phony war on terror, a war on terror that has been in turn used to create fear and a compliant, pliable citizenry willing to trade civil liberties and privacy for an illusory security? Tonight we'll meet several veteran investigative journalists and researchers who say Bin Laden was a CIA asset up to and including the day of 9/11, and that he most likely died of kidney failure shortly after the September 11, 2001 attacks. His reported death in 2011, a fabrication, a complete hoax. We'll also meet a skeptic who insists these theories are just a collection of baseless conspiracy theories, and everything we've been told about Bin Laden and Al-Qaeda is true. Me? I just want the truth, and I'm willing to follow it wherever it leads. It is time to redefine reality. Genetic enigma or a human alien? Osama Bin Laden. Did he work for the CIA?
He worked for primarily British intelligence. They brought in, as the National Security Advisor, Zbigniew Brzezinski. You had a White House, which was involved in covert operations directly. And Brzezinski, working with the British Empire at that point, was able to pull off a tremendous operation, which was to use the Muslim card against the Soviets.
As Brzezinski says, they wanted to give Russia its own Vietnam.
Was he, in fact, always a CIA asset?
I would say not in the beginning, but I think, yes, later on he would have been, and he had a large part to play.
There used to be a physical person called Osama Bin Laden, and he was this misfit. He was a fanatic. He was an ignoramus, according to some, couldn't lead a row of ducks across the road. Back in the 1970s, he comes from this wealthy family. They work with U.S. interests across the Middle East. However, he was a misfit. He was a dreamer, and he was used for various purposes. He fell into the hands of intelligence people, and he was used then as a figurehead, as a kind of mystical character to be the figurehead for this operation against the Soviets in Afghanistan.
He did a very good job for the U.S. He got wounded 6 times in Afghanistan. He's a hero there.
He was the guy when different young warriors were brought out of prisons in the Middle East, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Jordan, wherever. They would come to be vetted and steered into various training camps, and Osama Bin Laden was the first stop for many of them.
Somehow he took charge of conduiting money and being the unifying figure for this CIA Arab Legion.
It was a deep relationship, it was a long-standing relationship, a well-paid relationship, and one which some people believe, and we've heard this a lot in discussions of different aspects of what really was behind 9/11, that he continued to work for Western intelligence at the time of the 9/11 attacks.
Is there an Al-Qaeda? Has there ever been an Al-Qaeda?
Not the way they talk about it, no.
Normally, Al-Qaeda is a kind of infantry. It's a kind of irregular terrorist guerrilla force working for the U.S. Now, the exception, therefore, is the 9/11 story, where all of a sudden this group is made into the demonized embodiment of all evil.
You have to remember his family. His family was still in business, and probably are today, with the U.S. companies and the Bushes. But that's another reason why they couldn't for sure say, yes, he did it, because he's too intertwined with U.S. business.
Western and Israeli and Arab intelligence agencies find it very useful to keep on hand, if you will, a stable or a capability of Islamic terrorism.